They have this cool purple ruffly basil, which is really...
Does it taste different?
I don't know. I haven't tasted it. Let's find out.
But it looks good.
You want to taste it? Taste it.
Thank you.
You know, I haven't got to it because I'm waiting for my beds to be in. Does it taste different?
It smells like mint.
It's strong.
I like it.
Oh, wow. It's weird. It tastes like coffee. It tastes like licorice.
Licorice. Lisa, how did you become a food stylist?
I became a food... by default, I guess. What I am really is a cook. And I was a chef for a long time. I went to cooking school at the CIA a long time ago when it was 3% women when I was there, so it was a long time ago. And I wanted to transition into something different, and I didn't know how exactly, but there was, at that time, Time Life Books was in Alexandria, and they were doing a cooking series, a cookbook series. So they hired me to be a recipe developer and a chef, and styling was part of the job. So I got to learn on the job, which was great.
What's the first time that it occurred to you, I'm really good at this?
I started to feel talented when I worked at the Tabernacle because there was a lot of free range there, so you could be creative, and that's when I started really feeling it. But it took me a while because it was a very masculine atmosphere, and I worked in places that were very French, and I would be like the smallest, the youngest, the only American, the only woman, and that's not really a breeding ground for confidence. Mm-hmm. Exactly. So
How'd you tough it out?
So later, I toughed it out. I never had any doubt, which I didn't come to the decision with any kind of logical way. Like I just decided to go to cooking school on a whim. I'd never heard of cooking schools. Now everyone knows. I never thought of being anything except a cook after that, actually, which I haven't really thought about before. I'll take some chives and take some, this is purple sorrel, which I love. It's sour. And I'll take some parsley. And that should do it. And while I'm at it, I'm going to cut these tops off because it's going to seed. So I just have a few things from the garden. So I look really closely for pretty leaves. And then what happens is when you put stuff down for a salad, like you want to put it down, you don't want it to look stiff. So you wouldn't make a salad, for example, you wouldn't make a salad where things were like in a pinwheel because it would look totally fake. It's like flower arranging. It's just like that, where you don't want it to be stiff. You want it to have some flow.
And texture.
And some movement and curves and all that stuff. Yeah, and texture, right, and various tones and all. So I'm just making something up here. So we'll have some purple and some green, and then and then the other thing you do with a salad is you don't dress it because it makes it go down. So I would dress it at the end.
How important is variety? Because I think a lot of us, when we are making food and definitely taking a picture, like I want everything to look perfect, but it also seems like what you're doing here is building in some
asymmetry?
Yeah.
Although this is kind of symmetrical, but I like asymmetry, and also people really know everyone wants food messy now. People want drips, but they want artful drips. So it's almost harder to do it loose. It's almost harder.
Like this? Oh, I didn't even mean to make it look so good. It
and
just
I'm
looked
afraid
like that.
sometimes to go too far. Like they want it messy. I'm afraid that if I make it too messy, it won't be able to come back. Mm-hmm. But messy's great. It's more appetizing. And drips are really great. The water's really important. And then I might do, like this is a minimalist salad, but then at the very last minute, I might just do a little drizzle of oil, or we might do drops. But see, that drop looks great, and now it doesn't. So I would drop, and they would shoot.
And you have a million tools that you
I have
work
a
with.
lot of stuff. I carry a lot of kits. This is a really handy tool.
In case you need to brulee something?
Well, no, I do stuff like you can cook shrimp with it, and you can cook, you can cook anything. You can cook a lot of things with this, the side of a steak or shrimp on a skewer.
In what cases do we use the super glue?
For the wraps I hate to make. For gluing tortillas, for one thing. This glues everything. What I glued, I was making these tacos, and they needed to stand up without any support. So I made a little, with tin snips, I had sheet metal, and I cut a little support, and I glued it inside the tortilla so the tortilla would stand up. But you can glue anything with it. Like say your steak cracks, you can glue it back together. You can glue you can glue anything with this.
So you're also a MacGyver.
Yeah.
Thanks for having us in your kitchen,
you're welcome.
In your home, and sharing some of your tips. If we're in our homes wanting to take the best picture of food we can, style it just the right way, what's your number one tip for people?
Go near a window. That's what I do. That's the only thing I really know how to do. But go near a window. Natural light's so great.